So after the attacks of September 11th, Osama bin Laden instantly became the most wanted man on the entire planet. And then, poof. For almost a decade, he just vanished. The trail went completely cold. So how did the mastermind of 9/11 manage to just disappear from the world's most powerful intelligence agencies for so long? Well, the answer is way more shocking than anyone ever imagined.
You'd think the search would end in some remote, fortified cave system in the mountains, right? Nope. It ended right here, in Abbottabad, a bustling city in Pakistan filled with military personnel. He wasn't just hiding out, he was living, pretty comfortably, deep inside a country that was supposed to be one of America's key allies in the war on terror.
And that's the part of this story that's just so wild. This wasn't some shack in the middle of nowhere. His compound was literally just a few miles from Pakistan's most prestigious military academy. Think of it as their version of West Point. So how on earth was this even possible?
To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to rewind the clock a few decades. You see, the story of bin Laden's final hiding spot really begins with a very complicated relationship between the US and Pakistan. This was never an alliance built on shared values. It was more like a marriage of convenience, aimed at a common enemy, and it was built on a pretty shaky foundation of mistrust.
Okay, so take a look at this timeline. It all kicks off in 1979, when the Soviets invade Afghanistan. The US, wanting to make this a nightmare for the Soviets, starts pouring money and weapons to the Afghan rebels. But here's the crucial part. The middleman for all this was Pakistan's intelligence agency, the ISI. They took the US aid and handed it out, some of which went to a group of Arab volunteers led by guys like Abdullah Azzam and his very wealthy student, Osama bin Laden. By 1989, Azzam is killed, and bin Laden takes over what would become al-Qaeda, an organization literally born from a war that was indirectly paid for by its greatest future enemy.
And this quote from his mentor, man, it tells you everything you need to know about the ideology here. This was never a fight for freedom or democracy. While the US thought it was fighting a proxy war against communism, guys like Azzam and bin Laden saw it as the first battle in a global holy war. For the US, their extremism was just an inconvenient little detail. But for Pakistan, they were a strategic tool, and those conflicting goals would come back to haunt everyone.
All right, let's fast forward to December 2001. After 9/11, the US invasion of Afghanistan had bin Laden and his fighters cornered in the Tora Bora mountain range. You had thousands of US Special Forces, CIA guys, and their Afghan allies closing in. It seemed like his capture was just days, if not hours away. This was their chance to get him. And then, it all just fell apart.
What happened was a complete chain of failures that just opened the door for him to escape. First, the US was relying way too much on local Afghan fighters who, would just leave the front lines every single night to go break their Ramadan fast. Next, the two